Bitcoin is trading around $91,000 at the time of recording. Everybody was calling for a very bearish December. I was one of the first people to say that there was a pump that I think was going to come along regardless of the price action. And if you guys don't follow my X or my Twitter or even like my threads, I put out a message saying like I have it on good authority that Ethereum is about to pump. And I thought it was a rumor. It wasn't really confirmed. It was just like one of my buddies that had told me he caught wind of like this major institution that was going to come into the markets. And they didn't really like tell me like who it was, but they're like, it's gonna happen, it's gonna be announced like, next week, whatever. And things were looking really, really bad, obviously, over the monthly close. Obviously that happened on Sunday. And it came out yesterday that Vanguard is now offering their IBIT ETF to their clientele, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I think they have like something like 10 to 11 trillion dollars under management that they kind of manage. And obviously they're kind of in bed with BlackRock because that's the spot ETF that they're now offering. And it's funny because they said that they would never offer this to their clients. They were saying that crypto and Bitcoin was a scam. All the same stuff that we've heard years after year after year. And so I think that it's like, that to me kind of signals, or I guess taking this a step back, it's like whenever you see such like bearish price action when it doesn't really make sense, you always kind of have to like take a step back and ask yourself like who's going to benefit from this, or what could be the actual scenario? Because now that we have like Wall Street entering, we have BlackRock very bullish on crypto, we have the whole administration when it comes to like the governments, countries that are trying to accumulate it. Obviously, it would make sense that the 4-year cycle is not going to play out like it used to. Everyone likes to say like this time is different, and they've been saying that this is my third 4-year cycle at this point, and usually it's not really the same, or it's not really different, right? It's usually always like a little bit of the same. However, you can't discount that now we have like ETFs and you have all these major institutions, and they have a reputation to fulfill, not to mention the massive amounts of money that they have either sitting on the sidelines or that they're managing for their clients or that they want indirect exposure to as well. Because a lot of these companies basically will say, we're not allowing this for our clients or whatever, but behind closed doors, they're actually accumulating in different ways through proxies or through ETFs or through instruments that offer cryptocurrency. And so I'm not saying that the bottom is definitely in. I still think that, we're still in a bearish trend. Like, let's not get too comfortable, but things do look pretty good right now. And it kind of is paving the way for a bullish outlook for the end of this year. Obviously, we have a new Fed chair that's going to come in who is rumored to be very pro crypto. He was an ex Coinbase advisor. His name's Hassett. You can look him up. Not to mention, we have the end of quantitative tightening behind us. We have obviously a interest rate cut that's going to happen in about a week or so. There's a whole like Japan kind of thing going on, but like, let's be honest, like who really cares about that? The sophisticated people, in my opinion, that were basically taking advantage of the yen carry trade, which effectively means they were borrowing at 0% interest rates and they're investing in the United States. They probably caught wind of this like months ago. And so I think that this is not going to be as much of an effect as most people would think. And I still remain pretty optimistic when it comes to the next year, because again, like no country, politician, no government, like they can't really afford to see this whole like system break. It doesn't matter what kind of fiat system they're in. Any kind of fiat system, like they're going to make last as long as possible. They need to stimulate the economy. So I'm not really too concerned. Like I said, I had, very bearish targets, right? Where it was like $75,000. If we lose that, we can go down. And I maintained that, right? Like I've been saying that for probably 2 weeks now, if you're not new to the channel, and I stuck to that. Like I have been bullish as long as we maintain that on a monthly structure. So far, that seems to be the case. It looks like we've gone from about $83,000 yesterday to about $91,000 just now. And so it's going to be interesting how this plays out, because we're going to, in my opinion, get some more bullish announcements. I think that it's no coincidence that now Vanguard has entered the chat, and I think Bitcoin spiked up almost like 6% instantly at market open, because today was the first day that they offered it to their clients. And obviously they know that they're going to make most of their money through this, because crypto and Bitcoin, it's basically like a $3 trillion market cap asset class. When you compare that to the asset classes of stocks, equities, gold, silver, all that kind of stuff, it pales in comparison. It's like a drop in the bucket. And so they know if they can accumulate all of this, and they probably have been, let's be honest, and they send the price super high, they can not only make themselves super rich, but they can make their clients super rich. They can look good for their advisors, their clients, customers, whatever. And when you can control an asset that's so finite like Bitcoin, it creates a lot of power, and it's like a money vacuum. And I think that that's going to be a way that's going to be implemented into the United States fiat system, whether that's through stable coins or paying off the national debt. But we do need new systems in place. I think we can all agree with that. And so that's why I remain bullish, and I'm going to continue to update you guys with what I'm seeing basically going on in the news, because there's no shortage of that. There's just a lot of noise, right? And I really wouldn't get too distracted, and just stick to your course, stick to what you're comfortable doing. And again, just make sure you're following the channel, turn on your bell notifications. Everything I say here is very time sensitive. If you have any questions or suggestions of what kind of like crypto topics you want me to cover next, I'm going to be making a more probably in-depth like investing kind of strategy or altcoin sort of like allocation maybe. But yeah, drop that in the comments. I'll see you all soon. Trade safe, guys. Bye.